Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about habit 6, synergize. And I'm going to be reading things and examples from my book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teams. And I definitely recommend this. And if you haven't watched one of my videos before, my name is Maycie Reed. So, have you ever seen a flock of geese heading south for the winter, flying along in a formation? Scientists have learned some amazing things about why they fly that way. By flying in formations, the whole flock can fly 71% farther than if each bird flew alone. When a goose flaps its wing, it creates an updraft for the goose that follows. As the lead goose gets tired, he will rotate to the back of the formation and allow another goose to lead in the position. Whenever a goose falls out of formation, it immediately feels the resistance of trying to fly alone and quickly gets back into formation. When one of the geese gets sick or is wounded and falls out of formation, 2 geese will follow it down to help and protect it, and they will stay there until the goose gets better or dies, and then will join a new formation or create their own to catch up with the group. See, by sharing in each other's drafts, taking turns in the lead position, honking encouragement to each other, staying in formation and watching out for the wounded, they accomplish so much more than if each bird flew solo. So what does synergize mean? Basically, it means when 2 or more people work together to create a better solution than either could alone. It's not your way or my way, but it's a better way, a higher way. Synergy is the reward, the delicious fruit you'll taste as you get better at living the other habits, especially at thinking win-win or seek first to understand. Learning to synergize is like learning to form formations with others instead of trying to fly through life solo. You'll be amazed at how much faster and farther you'll go. To better understand what synergy is, let's see what synergy is not. Synergy is celebrating differences, teamwork, open-mindedness, finding new and better ways. Synergy is not tolerating differences, working independently, thinking you're always right, and compromise. Synergy is everywhere. It's in nature, it's in plants and animals. Synergy isn't anything new. If you've ever been on a team of any kind, you've felt it. If you've ever worked on a group project that really came together or been on a really fun group date, you felt it. Celebrating differences. Synergy doesn't just happen. It's a process. You have to work your way up to it. And the foundation of getting there is to learn to celebrate differences. Let's take diversity for an example. When we think of diversity, it usually calls to mind racial and gender differences, but there's so much more to it. See, as you probably already noticed, human beings have a wide variety of physical features. Hair textures, nose sizes, clothing styles. There are also endless differences in language, wealth, family backgrounds, religious beliefs, lifestyle, education, interests, skills, ages, and on and on and on. The world is a great melting pot of cultures, races, religions, and ideas. Since this diversity around you is always expanding, you've got an important decision to make regarding how you're going to handle it. There are 3 possible approaches you can take. Level 1 is shun diversity, level 2 is tolerate diversity, and level 3 is celebrate diversity. The shunner's profile. Shunners are afraid of differences. It disturbs them that someone may have a different skin color, worship a different god, or wear a different brand of jeans than they do, because they're convinced that the way of life is the best, the right, or the only way. They enjoy ridiculing those who are different, all while believing that they're saving the world from some terrible pestilence. And tolerators' profile is they believe that everyone has the right to be different. They don't shun diversity, but they don't embrace it either. Their motto is, you keep to yourself and I'll keep to myself. You do your thing and let me do mine. Or you don't bother me and I won't bother you. They come close. They never get to synergy because they see differences as hurdles, not as potential strengths to build upon. They put up with their differences but never try to understand or learn from them. The celebrator's profile is they value differences. They see them as an advantage and not a weakness. They've learned that 2 people who think differently can achieve more than 2 people who think alike. They realize that celebrating differences doesn't mean that you necessarily agree with those differences that they have, like being a Democrat or a Republican. We are all a minority of one. It's much easier to appreciate differences when we realize that in one way or another we all are a minority of one. And we should remember that diversity isn't just an external thing, it's also internal. Everyone has their own unique way of thinking, even about the same topic. We learn differently. As you've probably noticed, your friend's or sister's brain doesn't work the same way yours does. One type isn't better than another, only different. You may be logical, mathematical dominant, and your sister may be interpersonal dominant. Depending on your approach to diversity, you might say she's weird because she's so talkative, or you could take advantage of those differences and get her to help you in your speech class. We also see differently. Everyone sees the world differently and has a different paradigm about themselves, others, and life in general. And once you catch on that everyone views the world differently and that everyone can be right, it will increase your understanding and respect for differing viewpoints. We also have different styles, traits, and characteristics. Let's see. There's roadblocks to celebrating differences. Ignorance. Ignorance means you're clueless. You don't know what other people feel or believe or what they've been through. Ignorance often abounds when it comes to understanding people with disabilities. There's cliques. I don't know how to say it. There's nothing wrong with hanging out with guys or girls you're comfortable with. It only becomes a problem when your group of friends becomes so exclusive that they reject everyone who isn't just like them. It's kind of hard to value differences in a close-knit clique. Those on the outside feel like second-class citizens, and those on the inside often suffer from superiority complexes. But breaking into a clique isn't hard. All you have to do is lose your identity, be assimilated, and become part of the board collective. Prejudice. Have you ever felt stereotyped, labeled, or prejudged by someone because of your skin, your gender, your accent, or where you live? Isn't it a sick feeling? Although we're all created equal, unfortunately we're not all treated equally. It's a sad fact that minorities and women often have additional hurdles to leap in life because of prejudice held by so many. The United States elected an African American president, but racism is still a huge problem. We aren't born with prejudice. They're learned. Kids, for instance, are colorblind, but as they mature, they begin to pick up on the prejudices of others and form walls, as is explained in Rodgers and Hammerstein's lyrics to a song from the old classic musical South Pacific. You've got to be taught to be afraid of people whose eyes are oddly made, and people whose skin is a different shade. You've got to be carefully taught. You've got to be taught before it's too late. Before you are 6 or 7 or 8, to hate all the people your relatives hate, you've got to be carefully taught. So, the wonderful byproduct of teamwork and synergy is that it builds relationships. Basketball Olympian Deborah Miller Palmer said it well. Even when you play the game of your life, it's the feeling of teamwork that you'll remember. You'll forget the plays, the shots, and the scores, but you'll never forget your teammates. So basically what it's saying is, if you work together as a team, instead of trying to do everything on your own, instead of trying to think you're always right, you're going to get farther in life. Things will be better for you. And this thing, like teamwork, you have to work towards it. Because not everybody's good at working with people, Because there's some people that, they're used to being on their own, so it's not that easy for them. But, yeah, I definitely encourage you to use Habit 6, Synergize. And I hope you learned something from this video. Bye.